Next game we want to get into was one that had 103 points, almost 1,300 yards, and a whole hell of a lot of popcorn because it was fun. And Matt Corral, QB1, probably the next year's NFL draft, and maybe back into the Heisman Trophy race after this incredible victory, 52-51.
You know how much I love Matt Corral, but I would say that KJ Jefferson held his own head-to-head with Matt Corral, the Heisman Trophy favorite. Did it running the ball, did it throwing the football as well. And it ended appropriately, right? That the election to go for two at the end by Sam Pittman, it doesn't work out. But all in all, it was a fitting into an offensive battle that was back and forth all day long.
You know why? Because there wasn't a whole lot of defense. Lane Kiffin, who you think would be a happy camper about it, listen to him take a shot at the other side of the ball.
Well, our quarterback's unbelievable. He made a great play to number 13, Braylon, and we managed to play as bad as defense as you physically possibly can just to keep the crowd around to the last play. So we won. So finally, we can go have some popcorn.
The offense, they kept answering the call. Basically, the difference in the games, we put the ball on the ground once and missed a field goal, and they didn't. And, of course, obviously, we didn't convert on a 2-point. But I'm proud of our kids. I like the grit and the fight that they had offensively coming back to score there at the end of the game. And I had told them on that last drive, if we score with little to no time left on the clock, that we're going to go for two and make it. I love the play call. We had three options there and on the play, and we just didn't convert it.
Yeah, it was a big game, but it was a big game because it was the next game. We had to do our job, and we did our job, and we got the win, and we did what we were supposed to do. So that's all. That's like I didn't do anything different leading up to this week. If that was what you were asking, no, just treated it like any other game.
PB, I thought it was difficult to play defense for Coach Spurrier. Obviously, at Florida, I watched how frustrated Coach would get with the defense when they didn't get the ball back to the offense. I could just see him taking off the
visor.
I was there and witnessed a lot of that. But I think it may be even more difficult to play defense for Lane Kiffin. You saw his frustration. And what a contrast in talking glowingly about Matt Corral and the season that he's had and the game that he had specifically, and then talking about the defense. I would argue the defense gets a stop at the end in the play they had to have, and they forced 2 turnovers on the day, which certainly helped in a back-and-forth game with offensive scoring on just about every possession. Those were the differences, as Sam Pittman talked about.
Well, again, all you need for this defense is just be good enough, right? I think if you can get 1 or 2 turnovers, if you can turn a touchdown into a field goal once or twice, the offense is going to answer the bell. I go back and now look at this. After they lose to Alabama, they should be favored in every remaining game going forward, right? So this is a team that could go 11-1, and I don't think it would necessarily shock a whole hell of a lot.
Exactly.
Afternoon Delight. Do you not? Have you ever seen the movie Anchorman?
I didn't watch it recently, though.
Who has watched Anchorman less than 20 times? I'm starting to really question our friendship. Well, actually, no. I already knew where our friendship was on this. Afternoon Delight, what a great way to start the day of football, right? Alabama, Ole Miss and Arkansas. One of those 2 teams in the SEC eventually played, and it was enjoyable, yes. I always feel like there's a guilty pleasure. I want to get these games like this, Texas and Oklahoma, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and it lived up to the hype.
Is this great offense or poor defense, you think?
Yes.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Kiffin, he would say it's poor defense on his team's side, but it was a lot of fun to watch. These are 2 very dangerous offenses, and the reason why they're dangerous is because they're well-rounded. Both of the teams can run the football. Both of the teams use their quarterback in the run game. Both of those are able to have success throwing off of the success of the run game. So it was fun to watch both of these teams going back and forth. And down the stretch, you would see Ole Miss take the lead and think, all right, the game's over with. And Arkansas would answer right back. It was only fitting that it came down to the final 2-point conversion try.
And by the way, power ranking, an honorable mention here. Sam Pittman, thank you for going for 2, right? You did everything what Twitter wanted you to do. I know it didn't pan out, but I love the call. Defense wasn't getting a stop, and I know he was a little despondent about it. He said, listen, we had 3 options. We could pitch it, we could pass it, or we could run. And quarterback run. Had all 3 options, and to the credit, Ole Miss played it right. So at least that defense made one good play.
Being on the road, playing against Arkansas, guys showed up on Sunday, did a good job as far as looking at the Georgia game. What did we learn? And then going out there practicing and making it a good practice as far as just cleaning things up, and then also moving on and getting ready for this week and preparing for. We have an early game against Arkansas. We got another week to get ourselves better. We're going to travel, so handling that again. So all those factors that we just have to focus on when it comes to just us being a better football team. And no injury updates right now. We had no players of the game from the Georgia game, but just looking back on it, Georgia's a very good team. They've proven that. I've said that before. We knew that going into the game, and there's opportunities for us to make plays, opportunities for us to coach better and to do things that we all can improve on, and that's what we have to take into this week. You just got to learn and get better. You got to improve on things that you haven't worked hard enough at, or that you still need to perfect. And so it's just that ongoing process of doing those things. And, the challenge is doing it at a very high level every single day. That's the challenge. And you're going to need to do that in order to continue to be successful, especially with the type of teams that we're playing. And as you look at Arkansas, tough, physical, those two things stand out. The coaches do a very good job. They're 2 points away from being 5-1, and they're playing aggressive. And so, those things all stand out. There's a lot of really good players on their team. They've all made plays. Offensively, the quarterback can run it, throw it, can do it all. They play physical up front. They can run the ball. And, that's an identity of that team. Defensively, a lot of different things. I think Coach Odom does a very good job on that side of the ball, and you can see the variety in the defensive schemes and how they play, and they've faced some very good offenses this season as well, and so there's a challenge there. Special teams are solid, and there's opportunities there to make plays, and they've created those plays on special teams. So all those factors, as you look at Arkansas, in my opinion, they've done a very good job up to this point, and you can see that within their team.
Play Auburn, decided to get back home. We'd been, even though we had a home game in there, we'd been on the road 3 weeks in a row. Excited to get back home for homecoming and play a really good Auburn team. And, they start offensively with Bo and Tank, two of the better players at their position in the conference, and Bo sure makes a lot of things happen when it doesn't look like he has a possibility to. And D-Rob was over at Georgia, very fast wide receiver, had 4 of their 5 offensive linemen back. I really like their team. They're physical, really well coached. Coach Bobo does a great job over there. They're really physical, and defensively, to me, they're back to where Auburn's been, dominating on the D-line with Hall and Fair and Harris and Wooden. I think those guys are really good players. I don't know about Owen Papo, whether he's going to play or not, but he's certainly one of the better Mike backers, even though Chandler Wooten's come in and played really well. And then on the back end, Smoke Mundy's an exceptional player. They're just a really good football team, and we're excited to have a chance to get them in here and play. With that said, we need our fans, and I think we're about 500 tickets remaining for the game. If you look, and Trey, I had a quick glimpse of what you said, and it's 100% correct. There's been 2 games that had specific, in my opinion, I think the crowd mattered and helped the winning team. I'm not saying either team would have not won without the crowd, but when we went to Georgia, it was 110 decibels over there, and it certainly affected the beginning of the game and throughout the game. And, of course, when we played Texas here, our crowd was as good as any crowd that you could ever hope for. We need that crowd again. We need our students in here early, raising heck early before the game, and I'm just telling you that the football team needs the fans, and we need them to come here and help us win on Saturday. We can't sit here and go, well, that's been a terrible season to this point. Certainly wish we would have been able to convert the 2-point play or stop them or, make a field goal or, not get a turnover, whatever it may be, and be 5-1. But I'm proud of our kids, the way they play.
Auburn. Hello, Auburn. Auburn looks to reestablish downhill identity. They will need it in its next 3 games. Arkansas, they're not the favorite there. They are the favorite at home against Ole Miss right now, and they go to A&M on November 6th. They are considerably an underdog. So Auburn has 2 losses, cannot afford any more.
Welcome back, Fine Bomb Nation. Oh my goodness, if you missed Arkansas Ole Miss, go back and watch it. Make sure you're not on a treadmill or anything too stressful because the heart rate's going to be going up. This came down to a final 2-point conversion at the end of the game for Arkansas to tie. As you can see, it's a shovel pass, and they only ended up shoveling it clear out of the end zone. Richard, I ask, what happened? Was this the right call?
I mean, I think it was the right play call. The problem is the wrong execution. That running back is sitting there waiting to receive a shovel pass, but his left guard in front of him may have missed a block, and that option was shut off to KJ Jefferson. That's the problem.
I will say this. It's very easy to Monday morning quarterback, or in our case, Monday evening quarterback, the decisions made by the coaching staff. However, I like going for 2. Like that, I can't dispute at all.
Absolutely.
Okay? Yeah, no. Get out of there.
Sam Pittman was clear. Sam Pittman was clear that we don't want to go an extra however many snaps into overtime with this unit, with that offense starting at the 25-yard line. Are you kidding me?
No.
I think the thing to remember with all of these weird 4th down math or 2-point conversion thing is, I actually heard Baltimore Ravens coach John Harbaugh say this one time. Mm-hmm. We're trying to win the game in regulation.
Yeah.
When you think about it like that, it makes sense. Why would I subject my team to extra possessions in overtime? But Spencer, the play call that they ran on the 2-point conversion, they ran it earlier in the game, and to their credit, it did work.
Yeah, no, I mean, this ended up being a touchdown for the Hogs earlier in the game. It's just that sometimes that play works and sometimes it doesn't. The line between whether it was a smart call or not often comes down to, did it work?
Yeah.
Not is the situation there, but did we actually get the point?
The defense is on scholarship too. The defensive coaches get paid too on the other side of the field. Even if they're Ole Miss and even if their defense is a meme, they do still roll the ball out there. They can play.
Hey, listen, you can say all you want about the Ole Miss defense. They needed 1 play. They got 1 play. Needed 1 play, got 1 play. And if that's all you need to win a game, hey, man, the Revs got it.
Spencer, what I'm hearing from you is that Ole Miss is the most efficient defense in the country.
That is correct. They are by far the most. If you could show up for 1 snap and do your job, you would, right? Like, bam, out.
Auburn and Arkansas, this really feels like a season-turning moment for both of these programs. Who do you like today, Auburn or Arkansas?
Oh, man, I think I'm going to go with the Razorbacks. I like the way they bounce back and play high-spirited football a week ago against Ole Miss. I'm going with Arkansas.
Man, I was disappointed in their defense, though. Yeah. I was shocked that they got
there was no defense in that
punched
game
in the
whatsoever.
mouth by Ole Miss like that. This is a program builder if I'm Sam Pittman. I created the momentum. Well, I'm not recruiting against Georgia and Alabama. I'm going to try. Auburn's my biggest comment. I want to be the next team in this SEC. Go out and show it, man. Go ahead and beat up on Arkansas. Beat on Auburn. I'll take Arkansas.
I think we're all seeing the same thing. Yeah. Arkansas, what do you have left in the tank? 2 weeks ago, we sat right here hyping up this game with Arkansas and Georgia. They were 8th in the country at 4-0, and they had a really, really long, tough day in Athens. And then they followed up with a shootout last week. Hold on, the 2-point conversion, incomplete. So they've lost 2 in a row. Now they got to come back a 3rd week. That's the only question I have. I like Arkansas to win. I think what Sam Pittman's doing there, he's getting these guys to really buy into that culture. I'm going Arkansas, but, man, they've been through a lot the last few weeks.
They have. That's why I think it is vitally important
for
their season because you build up all of that momentum and then you lose 3 in a row and you lose a
That'd be
home
tough.
game. Yeah. That would be tough to handle that. And Auburn lost a couple of tough ones and coming off a physical game against Georgia.
Coach, another game we're looking out for about an hour and a half away. Arkansas and Auburn. Auburn going into town at number 17, Arkansas. You see Sam Pittman arriving there. It looked like a nice red suit there. This one is pivotal for both sides. What are you watching for in Auburn and Arkansas? Paul, we begin with you.
Yeah, I'm concerned about Arkansas right now because they are coming off of a devastating loss, and I think it's up to Sam Pittman to raise the level back to a high level of intensity because a loss today, unexpected, third straight, and this great season is suddenly on the brink.
Yeah, so much of the conversation is about how great Sam Pittman was doing, but this is a game that could maybe change that a little bit. All right, Jordan, what do you think? Who's got the pressure in this game?
Well, I think if you look at Auburn, you're at the halfway point for Coach Harsin in building this program. I think you need to decide the players and the identity that you want to build around. This is going to be a great test because Arkansas will force Bo Nix to play from the pocket. And I think this is a make or break game for Bo Nix and Coach Harsin to decide, can I build around this? Can he show improvement? And can we take this moving forward, or do we need to make a change?
Well, listen, I'm sort of piggybacking off of you because it's the offensive identity for Auburn. Is it Bo Nix? Is it the running game? Is it the backs? We've seen a little bit of all of it. We've seen really good Bo. We've seen bad Bo. We've seen really good running backs. We've seen non-existent running backs. We've seen the eye. We've seen the gun. We've seen no huddle. We've seen take your time. But who do you want to be? You have to have an identity. If you don't, listen, the wind's just going to take you wherever it wants to.
For me, it's all about Auburn and their run game. Do they really stick with it? I've seen Ole Miss have success last week versus the Arkansas defense because they ran the football, and then it sets up everything off of that. Can Auburn decide to use all three of their running backs constantly to make Arkansas uncomfortable defensively?
So pretty much we all said the same thing.
It's all about
to watch for.
Auburn, what it is.
Offense.
We know what we're watching for. Let's pick it quickly. Arkansas or Auburn, Paul?
Arkansas.
Okay.
I'm going Arkansas as well. I think that defense is going to cause problems for Bo Nix through the air. And I don't know if Auburn's going to commit to the run like we think they should.
Yeah, and I think the difference might be at home.
There we go.
We saw that place week one, and they were rowdy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad everybody got on the bus because we're headed to
Gas
Arkansas.
it up, baby.
Gas it up. We gassed up this week. We're all going.
You don't even get to act like you're an Arkansas supporter.
Hey, this bus has made a few pit stops, and he's gotten off and he's gotten back on, but I'm glad you're back on.
For gas a little bit, Laura. We got it.
We don't give that to you.
Either way, it'd be a huge win for Arkansas and maybe a lot of question marks for Auburn.
Well, there's absolutely no question that this conference, this side of it at least, is wide open because Alabama lost last week.
And let's not forget that game later on CBS, Georgia versus Kentucky on the East. It's a big day in the SEC right now. And this one on the West right now, we've been saying it. It is monstrous with that Alabama loss last week.
Vito Calvaruso will send it deep for Arkansas. We are underway as Pritchett lets it sail through the end zone, and it is a touchback.
By Mike Bobo, easy completions, get the defense to suck up, and then the home run shot from Bo Nix for the touchdown.
This is a 3rd down and 3 for Arkansas. Jefferson will keep it himself and surges forward. Got the 1st down and more towards midfield. KJ Jefferson. Fresh set of downs. They'll swing it quickly. That is the go-to guy. Traylon Burks turns it upfield. Burks still on his feet. Finally dragged down. 30-yard gain as Traylon Burks, a weapon above all.
And this is what's so easy for the quarterback. You want to load the box and give me numbers on the outside. I'm going to give it to my man, Traylon Burks. Let him make a couple guys miss. I stepped out of bounds just a hair bit earlier. Great blocking on the outside.
This one from 44 yards out. Little just sneaks it in there. And Arkansas responds with points. Put that thing away, Cam Little. 7-3, Auburn in front early. Auburn coaching staff preached competition throughout the week, and for Bo Nix, it looks like it's paid off. Bigsby turns the legs for 2. 3rd and 8, shy of the 50. Nix to the air. Nix lost one, complete over the middle, losing his footing. Landon King, and he can't get there. Let's go to our T-Mobile hometown connection in Jenny Dell.
Yeah, for KJ Jefferson, it all began in the small town of Sardis, Mississippi. Population is under 2,000. KJ, a family man and self-proclaimed mama's boy, had a truly special bond with his mom, Katori, who is in better health after suffering a stroke during KJ's junior year in high school. The two united for an emotional embrace last week after Arkansas fell 52-51 to Ole Miss in Oxford, Mississippi. That's just 35 minutes from his home. Guys, KJ told me his mom has no problem holding him accountable for what he does on the field. He said, "I just want to win for her."
Also has no problem showing him what's what on the basketball court, from what I hear. 1st down and 10, they go to the ground. Traylon Smith, the experience back and showing some of it. Shifty on his way to a 1st down. An awesome basketball player, and how about an awesome throw and catch. Tyson Morris. High formation on 2nd and 3. Pitch it to Hunter again, and he is stood up short of the 1st down. Arkansas's defense and Hudson Clark make a play.
It's a great job by this Arkansas secondary coming up and stopping this play, a perimeter play. This is what you need from your secondary, coming up, bringing the wood.
Now showing some old school footwork before the game.
3rd down and 1, and Hunter upended in the backfield. What a stop by Arkansas to bring up 4th down. And now we'll see, did the ball maybe come loose? Razorbacks think that they have it. Jashad Stewart was there. And let's see, did Hunter keep this ball in his grasp? I'm not sure he did.
And Stewart, number 58, blasts right by the defensive end, being able to hit the running back in the backfield, and we're going to get a great view here. When does this ball come out? And that's a fumble. No, Coach, that is a fumble.
100% a fumble.
That's when you just need to let the play out.
What I've learned in my short time with CBS is when Gene Steratore asks, he shall receive. The ruling on the field was forward progress was stopped right here as Hunter was fighting for yardage. So that's what the ruling that was confirmed. Bigsby has been heavily involved early. This is something that we expected to see, and nothing's going to change quite yet as Bigsby can't get to the outside. 6th touchdown of the season. Puts Auburn up 11. I'd say, why did he try to catch that one-handed? Well, he's got massive hands as Smith has a couple of yards. It'll bring up another for Jefferson. Jefferson looks, fires, complete, space in front for Morris, and he's finally tripped up past the 45-yard line. Another 3rd and long at 3rd and 8, just shy of midfield. Jefferson with plenty of time will tuck and run now. Jefferson has 1st down yardage, and he's tripped up. There is a flag on the field, but a nice decision there from the quarterback as Jacoby McLean finally came in to trip him down.
Yeah, we're going to get
call's going to be defensive holding.
50-yarder ones.
You see, no, you can't play it off ball. You know exactly. Yeah, true. Receipts are
video confirmation.
Absolutely exhausted. Both my longest runs of my career were Tennessee twice, freshman year and then senior year. Both about 50.
They were just volunteering for you.
They were.
3rd and 17, big play for Arkansas. They've struggled on 3rd and long all season. Jefferson out of the gun, drops back to pass. Jefferson on the run, he got it complete. Looks like it's about a yard short to Traylon Burks. Dominique Johnson, the sophomore from Crowley, Texas, in the game. Fake it to him. Jefferson cuts upfield, takes a blow and keeps going. KJ Jefferson, too strong as he's about a yard shy of a first down.
His defense right now has been buckling up.
Jefferson surveys, lofts, completes. Out of the backfield, Dominique Johnson makes the catch. Nimble feet for sure. Johnson stays in the game. Get it to him underneath, and Johnson keeps the legs working inside the 20. He's left a couple shots at the end zone before having to settle for the field goal as Jefferson looked to jump past it, brought it back down, and end zone. He's got Burks. Touchdown, Arkansas. Superman puts out the cape.
Sometimes things just aren't fair. They're trying to get a little jump pass over the top of the inside linebacker who's got a conflicted job here. He's going to try to tackle the quarterback on draw, and then he's going to have to try to cover somebody getting behind him.
Well, great job by Burks, who's staying alive. He's one-on-one with the safety. Everyone thinks the play's over because the jump pass isn't there. He said, "No, I'm wide open in the end zone, QB. Find me. Down. Find my receiver in the back. Make it in a game." Mom is pumped. 14-10 Auburn.
Lethargic. Guys, I said we need to figure out a way to stay on the field in third and short situations.
Well, right now with Bo Nix, too, is interesting saying on that storyline, Jenny, really only got 60% of the reps in practice this week. They didn't really know how much he was going to play in this game, but I thought he put a stamp on that quarterback position in the first half.
A.J. Green, the running back, to start this second half. Gets past one tackler. Green will get positive yardage to start the third quarter, but a flag is on the field back at the 24. Traylon Smith, the running back, on third down and 9. Jefferson with time. Jefferson looks to escape and does. Jefferson got a block from the referee, and he's into open space. KJ Jefferson down the sideline and finally out of bounds.
What a block by the referee. God, I love when he gets involved. Watch the KJ going through his reads. No one's there. No one's there. Let me go out there and be an athlete. Hey, up. Give me a little bow. Give me some room to run.
And remember, both these teams play Alabama later in the season as Jefferson will go to the air on second down and 8. Air it out for the end zone. It's held in. Traylon Burks. Ridiculous for the Arkansas touchdown.
To your boy.
Where's Waldo?
Well, there he is going up to the goalpost. Throw it high. Throw it at the rim, coach. He's going to make you look silly. Post route. First drive. KJ Jefferson making some magic. Arkansas takes the lead.
Guys. Third down and 2. Nix hands it off and Bixby is dumped.
What
Big
a play by Hayden Henry. What a play by Hayden Henry. We talked about Morgan just a moment ago. Hayden Henry is all Arkansas. Every one of his brothers played here. You talked about Morgan's brother playing here. These guys just bleed Razorback red.
John Richardson, Arkansas's first black scholarship football player, honored before today's game with a plaque on Difference Makers Plaza. Little Rock native, played tailback and lettered at Arkansas from 1970 to 1972, passed away in 2002, but inducted into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame in 2008. A legend here, and about 74,000 fans excited, loud, into it, energized as the Razorbacks have found some momentum in their favor. Last 2 drives, just over 5 minutes combined. They're on a 14-0 scoring run. Burks, the man in motion, has both touchdowns. Jefferson will go under center on first down. Quick hitter to Burks. Makes one man miss. Makes a second man miss. Traylon Burks, a game breaker in the pass game. Bauer boots it. Robertson will return. Gets across the 25, and he is dumped out of bounds. Absolutely crushed. Great special teams play made by Jackson Woodard. So we'll see if Auburn can get back on the board, tie or take the lead. It's Woodard continuing to set the tone for the Hogs. Nix today, 14 of 16, 149 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Go to the air on the first play and try to get it to Deal, who was held up. Let's see if Nix has some magic. Nix escapes, lofts. Oh, it was wide open, but incomplete. Landon King dropped what would have been a huge gain.
And that's the matchup they wanted to see. Cunningham, the left tackle. Auburn felt good. Derek Mason felt good that his DNs can create some pressure on that left side.
What's remarkable is that Kendall Briles said, "We don't turn it over, we win," and he calls that play back there. What a turnaround here in Fayetteville.
As Dominique Johnson coming and standing right next to him. Big drive ahead now based on everything that's transpired, and Jefferson on a chunk play will bring up second down and short.
His offense evolved this season with Harsin.
Quick strike to Burks. Give him some space, and he's going to make a play and then some. Another first down for the junior.
Which he can well.
Second down and 5 from the 30. And it off. Johnson's got space. Johnson to the outside across the 40, and he's finally dragged out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Burks, the man in motion. Jefferson keeps, fires, completes to Kern. And Kern bulldozes forward, dragging white jerseys with him. Kern, the man in motion on second down and 10. Hand it off. Rocket Sanders, shifty, just shy of the 30-yard line.
Right now they're going to single up man-to-man.
Fourth down and 3. Jefferson will look to run it up the gut, and he didn't get there.
We are absolutely loving what's getting done here. It's time for the Hogs to figure out a way to get back, because right now it's all War Eagle.
So now a second down and 13 for Jefferson out of the gun. They'll run it. Takes a hit and spins forward in these third and longer situations.
They've got Burks outside.
Jefferson on 3rd and 7. Pumps, lets it go, wide open. Hudson Henry, first down and more. Henry explodes forward near midfield. Second and 10, they go to the ground. Rocket Sanders, so elusive, so slippery, an 11-yard gain.
That's beautiful.
We could have had some fun in LA.
Third down and 9 for Jefferson. Rips one, and it's another first down. Warren Thompson. We're going to go quick tempo from Jefferson. Hands it off to Sanders. Finds a hole. Rocket Sanders. Shoelace tackle. Jefferson sends Burks in motion. Jefferson, handoff. Johnson, the hole, the score. Dominique Johnson, Arkansas touchdown.
Kendall Briles says, "Hey, you fellas upstairs, I know what I'm doing." Beautiful call.
Well, you see the linebacker get out of position. Right here, you get your main receiver in motion, eyes on him. All of a sudden, you leave a short box, 5-on-5.
Burks 1-on-1. Let's see if Jefferson looks his direction. Jefferson to Burks. In and out of his hands. Incomplete. Roger McCreary in coverage.
Absolutely beautiful job by the cornerback.
Yep.
Bang, bang play.
It's 1-on-1. You split the receiver out that far. You know a slant's coming. Still wins, but can't finish it off. Auburn takes the lead, head into the 4th.
In 6 tries. Under center, Nix, I formation. Bigsby, tough running, and a nice tackle on 3rd down and 6. Nix looking, lofting. Nix, jump ball. It was over the head of Robertson, and a flag comes in.
That ball was out of the field of play.
Defense number 17, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, and that carries an automatic first down.
Let's see where this lands, and I'm with you, Coach. That landed a good bit out of bounds.
It's out of the field of play. I'd love to hear from Gene what constitutes out of the field of play.
Hudson Clark was the man who will be called for that penalty.
And right here, Shanker in the slot, 1-on-1. Man-to-man coverage again.
Nix looking to escape, will not do so. Nix is tripped up by the captain, Grant Morgan. And the senior calmly knocks it through. 31-23. Auburn on the road, looking for the upset on CBS.
just saw the highlights of Bo Nix using his arm. Now it's his legs, putting a dagger in the hearts of these Arkansas fans. 38-23.
Let's keep it SEC. Auburn and Arkansas, first quarter. Bo Nix, you know the story with him. There's Bo Nix at home, there's Bo Nix on the road, and there was Bo Nix on Saturday, who was really good. Javarius Johnson, 39
He's
yards.
been good on the road this year. Played well at Penn State, played well at LSU, and made some nice throws here at Arkansas.
Third quarter, here comes KJ Jefferson, complete to Traylon Burks. 30-yard touchdown. Arkansas takes the lead.
A few weeks ago, this Arkansas team was 4-0. Now they've lost 2 in a row to Georgia and Ole Miss. They're in danger of losing 3 in a row.
And now Bo Nix, watch this pass to Demetrius Robertson.
Not an easy defense with 6 DBs to throw into, but Robertson, the Cal transfer, the Georgia transfer's got a lot of speed. Impressive win for Auburn on the road.
Yeah, 38-23. They go and get that one against Arkansas.
4-0 start. Auburn making the trek to Northwest Arkansas. War Eagles won 5 in a row against the Hogs. Bo Nix to Javarius Johnson, 39-yard touchdown pass. First time this season Auburn scores a touchdown on their opening drive. Then Jarquez Hunter can't get the first down. And did he fumble? Well, Arkansas thinks they've got it. Let's see. Ball is coming out.
Ball out.
Uh-oh. You know what this reminds people of?
Oh, yeah.
Last year. Same two teams. Bo Nix tries to spike the ball. What's he do? He spikes it backwards. Should have been a fumble. Should have been Razorback football. But it was called an incomplete pass, a spike. And Auburn ends up winning 30-28. Razorback fans don't forget that.
Rolling on the field is confirmed. 4th down.
Yeah. They don't call it a fumble. But a fumble is a fumble, as I once read somewhere. Later, Auburn, 2nd and goal. And they're up 11 on the road. What's going on?
I like the old eye backs on the goal line, right? Nobody does
Taking
that.
a snap
like
under
Bobo.
center.
I love it.
Yeah. You mean not starting
they
a play
grind it
at
out.
6-yard line when you're actually on the 1? Look at KJ Jefferson. Look at KJ Jefferson go.
Saw this from him last week, didn't we?
Right? Oh, yeah.
Bring the guy down.
Oh, he ran for 66 yards. One play later, here he is to Traylon Burks, touchdown. Burks, another 100-yard game.
Hadn't done much up until this point in time. A surge at the end of the first half there, starting strong in the second half, and it looked like Arkansas was going to run away.
Burks, by the way, has had 4 100-yard receiving games. Yeah, Jefferson hit, ball is loose. Auburn jumps on it. Marcus Harris has it, defensive touchdown. War Eagle, they're up 21-17, 4th and 3 then. Jefferson tries to run it up the gut, can't get the first. Auburn holds, next play action. Bo Nix to Demetrius Robertson. Oh, what a throw.
And anytime there's a turnover on downs or a big play, a lot of times offense coordinators will take a shot deep, and that's what Bobo drew up.
28-17 now. Arkansas needs an answer. Dominique Johnson, they've got a stable of backs. Cut it to a 1-score game. 2nd and 14 then for Auburn. Nix, who threw for 2 touchdowns, and 81% of his throws he completed. He also ran for a touchdown. Oh, that element is tough to deal with.
Yeah, I think people forget how good he is with the ball in his hands as a runner. And sometimes it's a design quarterback run like that, but he is dangerous with his feet.
Look at the celebration. Brian Harsin. Look, you go to LSU and you get a win. Florida didn't do that. You go to Arkansas and you get a win. A lot of schools haven't done that. Texas, I'm looking at you as well. Auburn has, Bo Nix seems to have figured himself out away from the friendly confines of Jordan-Hare. It's a big win for Auburn. What's the statement it made for you?
Well, I'm just impressed with Bo Nix as well. I mean, at one point, Bo Nix was a guy we were talking about that had more interceptions away from Jordan-Hare than he had touchdowns. And he's completely flipped that narrative on its head this year. He goes down there to Arkansas. He spreads the ball around 10 different receivers. He goes 21 of 26. He's running the ball physically. He's running over defenders. He's rallying the troops. He's doing all the things that we know he can do with his athleticism, but he's doing it consistently. A couple of weeks ago, he was making those crazy passes, and we said, I don't know if he'll be able to keep doing that. Yeah. At some point, it's going to bite him in the butt. But he has progressed, and really a tribute to Coach Bobo, to Coach Harsin for sticking with him. I mean, it's easy to say, the guy's not doing well, we got to move on. But they saw something in him. They saw what he was doing in practice and decided to stick with him.
To me, if you look at Brian Harsin, a couple of weeks ago, we were trying to figure out who this football team was because of Alabama, because of the Georgia State game, right?
Yeah.
This team Brian Harsin has 2 road games in this league, and they were great victories. That was a great win today because that was a great team win.
Yeah.
Bo Nix played great. The defense, that was a turning point. The sack, strip, fumble, touchdown, that was a turning point in the game. It was 17-14, and Arkansas was clawing their way back. That was a huge deal. Huge 4th down stop. So it was a complete win defensively, offensively, everything. You talked about Bo Nix, but it was the way they won. You talk about Brian Harsin making the decision to stay with Bo after everybody wanted him to change quarterbacks after the Georgia State game. He didn't do it. Mike Bobo, Brian Harsin, hats off to him. Great job.
Yep.
That's it. Oh, okay. I didn't know if you wanted to jump in.
I was just going to expound on what Coach said. I mean, it was the aspect there, the turning point, 17-14. They get a special teams play, a 57-yard punt that gets down at the 11-yard line. Sack, strip sack, touchdown. They get the ball back. Then they hit the 71-play drive, 71-play touchdown pass. And it's just a complete microcosm of that team's effort today.
Can I say this about Bo Nix?
Yeah.
I'm proud for the kid because he's taken a lot of heat. Yeah. 2 weeks in a row on the road at LSU and today, the dude delivered. Big time delivered.